SCIENCEVISION is a space rock band from Indiana, Pennsylvania, and over the summer they released their split mixtape with Slim Fortune called Color Shifter. The band, along with their new EP, can be found on Bandcamp, and be sure to check them out on Facebook too. Here they are performing their Continental Staircase and Kali Yuga SCIENCEVISION. What's up, guys? We're here with Science Vision. Thanks for that great performance, guys, in the studio. We really appreciate it. You guys have been playing a lot lately. I saw Battle of the Bands just last week. It was. You guys performed there, came in 3rd place, yeah? Got a little cash prize out of it.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How was that performing there? Was that I mean, it was only a 10-minute set, so it must have been a lot different setup from what you usually do. Was it any different from setting up for a regular show?
It was. It's about where it would be. I mean, we kind of started cutting things back a little bit because we're kind of like a true band at this point. So I mean, it's just guitar, bass, drums, and then it's like a little extra doodad.
Yeah, and you guys, you've played with a lot of those bands before, right? You played with Face of Apes before. You've played with Herbivore before, probably. I'm guessing you guys are always around here. So that's definitely a crew that you guys have been following around. Is there like there's a strong sense of community, a strong sense of scene in Indiana for musicians like you guys?
Yeah, a bit of a scene starting to form for sure.
I know there's a lot of overlap. I see Brandon, I see Sky in different bands, and everybody's helping each other out with their own vision. What projects have you guys worked on in the past? Can I get like a quick rundown for each of you, for what else you guys have been working on?
Well, right now we've been kind of like working together to kind of make like an album, EP of some sort. Nice. Still like kind of like writing it as we go, so it's whatever it ends up turning into. But other than that, yeah, we just put out a tape on Field Hymns Records. That was a split between us and a band called Slim Fortune.
Nice.
And they had some people that were in like Modest Mouse, Chromatics. There's a couple other bands, but I can't think of them. But yeah, so we put that out, and then before that, we self-released a double album called States of Avidity.
Right.
So
and that's a great album. It's got the 2 different sides with 2 very different feels on it. I like that a lot.
Yeah, because one side's kind of like that was whenever it kind of started to split into like 2 different things. Like the first side's kind of like a more like a studio-based kind of stuff, and then the second side is more like what we're doing now is like an actual band.
Have you guys been writing more together recently than ever? Is it now like, because at one point it was both of you and you developed it into a live thing together, is that right? Did it start off just you, Brandon, or was it always you and Adam?
It started off with me, Adam, and then Matt Snyder too. He was also in Coastal Remedy. But yeah, we pretty much started off kind of wanting to just have it be like a live set, and we recorded our first like a demo live to tape. Cool. And yeah, it kind of turned from being like a traditional band to more like a whoever's available at the time kind of thing.
Nice.
So
there's definitely
like
a lot
to
of
keep
different incarnations of Science Vision that I've seen. Every time I see you guys, there's a different setup. There might be something different on stage that I see that I didn't expect before. What about the rest of you guys? Have you guys been involved with any other projects in Indiana over the years?
Coastal Remedy for me, I guess you could say, has been my main focus years before this. But I don't know, this is a really open project for me, and I can bring a lot of different things to this scene that I can't really bring to the table necessarily when it comes to Coastal Remedy, which is okay. But it's just been a really nice creative experience for me.
Nice. And what about you, Scott? What other bands or groups have you been involved in?
I'm in a metal band called Barren Plains right now.
Right.
So I got that going on.
Nice.
And then other than that, I pretty much just make noise.
Nice.
You know, just like hook cables into things and then turn them on and see what happens.
And you're a synthesizer man, yeah? You like to
yeah, I dabble with
knobs.
that sometimes, yeah.
For those who don't know, Sky and other members of the band are actual scientists, not just, they don't just sound like it, so they can come up with all crazy kind of oscillations and reverberations that nobody's ever heard.
Like gloves.
You're all scientists in my book, man. Brandon, you had some kind of interesting effect with the drums going on. You deal with doing effects on drums often. Is that that's something pretty rare? A lot of people don't really get into that.
I was kind of working on a project where I was pretty much like running a mic from all of my drums into like a different unit set to something else, like a delay coming through the snare, like the toms coming through like 2 different amps. But I've just been kind of messing around with like signal processing in general, and that's something that I do like to kind of try out as much as I can, especially with something like this. It's like to incorporate that into a live setup, because right now I was just like running a radio and a mic coming from my snare and then his synth into a mixer coming out of that amp. So
very cool.
Just like It's pretty easy stuff to do on the fly once you get it hooked up, but I do like to kind of incorporate that element into it.
Cool. You guys use a lot of different gear. Is there like outside of your actual instruments, if you had to choose just one piece of your gear, one pedal or one rack processor, what would you choose? What's important to your each of your individual sounds that you can't go without?
I'd probably never sell my Rivera amplifier.
Right.
It's probably the one thing. Because it was like I got it by means of a pretty lucky situation. So yeah.
And it's a great amp. You got to hold on to that,
Oh
especially.
yeah. I almost sold it the other day.
Yeah.
I know I just said, but yeah. Someone talked me out of it. I was like, all right, yeah, you're right.
What do you think? What's the quintessential Sky piece? What's something you can't go without?
I have this nasty overdrive pedal.
Is that big red one?
The big red pedal, yeah.
He's got this thing. It looks like I don't know what. It looks like a menacing little Frankenstein of a box.
Yeah.
Brick?
Yeah, I just like the loud, noisy sort of bass.
Nice.
You know, like Jesus Lizard-esque stuff
Okay.
like that. So
Nice.
that's really the only way that you can get it.
Yeah, and a lot of people are just doing their bass clean or with a little bit of drive, but I like the effect that you have on yours. It really brings a different sound to the whole thing. Real quick, Brandon, just throw it out there. We only got a couple minutes. What would you say is your number one piece?
I have this Digitech pedal. It's like a RP 350, and it has this delay on it that you can hold the repeats, and it goes up to 5 seconds. But I've just been using that as a makeshift looper for however many years I've had it, 7 years. So
Nice.
I'm just pretty used to doing it that way.
Cool.
So I've
great.
definitely written a couple songs using that, just kind of looping 4-second things, and either slowing them down on tape or doing whatever after that.
Awesome. Well, it sounds great. You guys sound awesome. Everybody at the house shows, everybody out here, everybody at the Battle of the Bands loves it. We appreciate you coming in and playing those 2 songs for us today.
Thanks for having us.
That's all the time we have for today, guys. So tune in next time. IRB, we're going to be here again next week. Thank you, Science Vision, for coming in. And that's all.